Welcome to The Actor's Choice, where the actors and actresses have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting by actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, direct from Hollywood, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Brewington, and welcome to The Actor's Choice. Brought to you by Photography as an Art, Harvey Brandman, Master Photographer, located at 1307 North San Fernando Boulevard in Burbank, California. And attorney Ron Irwin's new book, Haiku, Style, Passion, Heart. And author Larry Buford's book to the future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule, and State Farm agent Carla Green, who says, and like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Roll it.
Oh, Esther! Oh, Esther, I haven't seen you forever. Not since the surgery. How have you been?
Same as yesterday, same as every day.
Oh, I presume that's a good sign.
In this place, it's a good sign to be standing upright.
I tried to call several times. I even tried to come up to your room.
No. Well, I didn't want a lot of people feeling sorry for me. Then I'd have to listen to all their sob stories about how bad they had it. I don't go in for all that nonsense.
Ladies and gentlemen, my first guest today is a veteran character actress of films, TV, and stage since the late 1960s. She was born in Medford, Oregon. She got training at the University of Washington School of Drama. Her credentials are impeccable. An example is having over 200 stage productions. Please join me in welcoming Jackie Lynn Colton. Jackie, hello. Heard a lot about you. Glad to have you here today. Thank you.
I'm glad to be here.
And of course, I want to thank our publicist, Lucy Polk. What a lady. What a lady. My first question to you is, what made you want to be an actress?
I was very shy as a child, and I got a chance to be a mother kitten in the Three Little Kittens in the second grade. And I got a lot of razzing, but a lot of applause too. So it was kind of fun. But I still was shy, and my voice would shoot up to high soprano because I'd be shy and not know what to say. And I took a course while I was in the high school play, Mrs. McThing, and I got a coughing spell after eating chocolates on stage. So I thought I better train to do this. So I took a theater speech course in college, and the director of that was doing his master's thesis show, and I got to be the Chinese mother in this play called The Chinese Wall, where all the people from history were gathered together. Okay. And my lines were, "Hail to the Emperor Tsin Che Wang Ti, who is always right," and then I'd bow. And then I got this coughing spell. And I was used to being like an assistant stage manager during rehearsals. Mm-hmm. So I was calling out sound cues, but I'm down there. I can't talk. My voice. And that better.
I mean, you've got a film job in 19 with a movie.
Film. Do the film for me. Actually, I was a maid who had my hair up in a bun, and at one point he was
years you have earned credits. And it was just a amazing feeling. The feeling that you really like it and
I'd rather, and it's different. You don't get into a
modern technology that evolves to what we're using now. I mean, stages with all this movement and all this good stuff, stages dropping from underneath you, stuff dropping out of the air, just amazing. People go to see a play and they walk out of there saying, "I have had an experience."
Exactly. I've gone to plays where I don't want there to be an intermission because I'm so in love with the characters. Yes. I just want to stay in the room with them.
Wow. Now you had your good year for you was 1983. You had 5 roles that year.
I had done a bunch of commercials with this guy, Stan Dragati, who was the director of Mr. Mom. So I was part of the Stan Dragati club, and he picked the part for me specially, and it was delighted. I'm in a card game where we're playing for coupons, housewives playing for coupons, and Mr. Mom's wife has gone out to work, Terry Garr, and he has to stay home and play cards with the ladies and take care of the kids. It was a great movie. I still, when I see it, I go, I can't believe how good this is.
I was going to ask you, how did you feel when you saw yourself up on that screen for the first time?
Well, the first time I saw myself acting as if I were on stage, I went, oh, wow, I better pull that back. But I eventually started thinking, that's a different character,
Yes.
and I don't like to play the same character.
Got you. People who watch this show know that I have a bone to pick with a lot of actors who don't get up on that stage. Like they're afraid.
Well, it's pretty terrifying. I mean, you think, thank God I have rehearsed this for 6 weeks or a month or however long you got to rehearse, because your adrenaline is shooting up and your technique is anchored.
Yes. No more. It's no more take 1 or take 2. Right. You got to do the first time.
And it's very much like being an athlete. It's like you start rehearsal and then you get your strength and your steam and your stamina so that you can go through the whole thing, which is different from films and television because they're short bursts.
Yep. Yes, indeed. 1986. That was your best year. You had 6 roles that year. One of them was Silver Spoons. Remember that?
Yeah, but it was just one of those incidental roles. I don't consider that my best. It was a nice little TV show, and I got a few lines and a nice little scene with a star, but
Yes. By incidental, you mean you got paid.
I got paid. No, I got very lucky because
Yes.
I came out here with the National Company of Two Gentlemen of Verona from New York. And within 2.5 years, I had salted away enough money to do a down payment on a house.
I saw an article that said $1.3 million. Was that what they were talking about?
Oh, I don't think. No, I never got paid that.
No, I saw an article that said that you had gotten $1.3 million or something like that. You were worth that much money or something like that.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I'll show
Don't
the
tell
article.
anybody.
I'll send the article to you so you can see it. In 1968, you had 4 roles, including Moving. Moving was one of those roles.
With Richard Pryor.
The late, great Richard Pryor.
Oh, he was wonderful. I was a big fan of his. When I first was acting in the Village, I went to see him in one of those downstairs clubs.
Yes.
And it was interesting. At that time, he was sort of trying to do Bill Cosby-like material. But then he started doing Richard Pryor material, and woo!
Yeah, went shot.
Yeah,
Yes,
totally.
yes. I remember when he got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He was at the time his health wasn't that great, and we got a director's chair and moved up on the stage and put him on there so he could receive all the guests that came. And then after the show, since I had to go out there and rented the chair, I said, "Bowie, I'm going to go ahead and buy the chair," and I took it over his house and gave it to him.
Oh.
And I walked in there. There he was laying in his bed. I said, "Richard, some people told me I look like you." He said, "You one ugly dude too."
That's wonderful.
Richard.
I played a welcome wagon lady on Moving.
Gotcha.
We came and welcome to the town, and asked them all these questions and gave them prizes and packets and gifts. It was funny.
Jackie, out of curiosity, what do you do when you're not working in film or TV?
I belong to a lot of theater organizations, like Theater West and the Odyssey Theater Ensemble, and I've served on boards of Actors Equity. I was the Western Regional Vice President. I was the SAG 9th Vice President and on the board, and AFTRA, I was a national and local board. So it takes up a lot of time. But I also used to work with a partner building houses. I mean, I would pick out the colors and the materials, and In fact, we built an apartment building on this street.
Yes, you pointed that out to me
That
today.
Art Deco building.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
But what it helped me do was to stop shopping.
Okay. Okay. People found a way. Nothing wrong with that.
Whatever it is.
Wow, all the places. Now, you've done numerous appearances at the Odyssey Theater.
Yes.
Yes. So it's nothing new to you. It's a very nice theater. I go there a lot myself.
Oh, I
Very nice
love
theater.
the Odyssey. They're
Yes.
so good to actors there,
Yes.
and they do the greatest plays.
Yes, and they've got multiple stages in there also. You can get
Right.
the little stage or the big stage, whatever you like.
3 stages.
Three
yes,
stages.
wonderful.
Wonderful. We'll talk about that in just a little bit out. I should also mention for our listeners that you and viewers that you did Toys in 1992.
That's a funny story.
Please tell me about it.
First of all, I did a little excerpt, and they
Yes.
hired my dog to come in, and there was like a dog food commercial or
Right.
something weird, but I am cut out of the movie, but the dog, I think you can still catch a glimpse of it. So I didn't have much to do in that, but I got paid
We
for
got paid.
it.
That's it. It's all about getting paid. And one quick thing, I understand that you even did some high fashion modeling.
I did.
Ooh.
There was a woman, a magazine called, a phone call has dropped like the Ted eyes are you. I said, can you believe it? I no hairdo. Took one look at this, called her and said, I can't do this. So they got their photographer who had done the most artistic pictures of giraffes in Africa, and I mean really artsy stuff. And he was wonderful. He made me feel gorgeous. Big is beautiful. I mean, it's than Lauren Bacall.
Your career. I should mention to all our viewers that you will be celebrating a birthday on September the 18th.
Yes, the same day as Greta Garbo.
Wow. Can I hit it real quick? Happy birthday to
Oh,
you.
that's
Happy
enough.
birthday to you. Got you.
Thank you.
Have a good birthday. Birthday, September the 18th. Okay, here you go. 2 words. In circles. Sound
In
familiar?
circles.
Sound familiar?
I love it.
Tell us about it, please.
I did it in 1967 at Judson Poets Theater, and then it was this surprise hit. There was a dancer in it who was British, who knew Clive Barnes. He was a Merce Cunningham dancer. He got Clive Barnes and his wife to see it. We got a rave review in the New York Times and the New Yorker and all these magazines. So we moved to the Cherry Lane Theater for a year. We did an album. Shall I hold it up?
If you want. Hey.
And I'm here as an ingenue. But in this iteration of In Circles, I'm Gertrude Stein.
Now, who is Gertrude Stein, please?
A rose is a rose is a rose. And all this, she was experimenting with language in an era of experimentation in art. Cubism, words, phrases, things that had meaning to her. And she wrote them as kind of a modernist poetry. And this Al Carmines, who was at Judson Poets Theater, and Larry Kornfeld, who was the director there, put it together and adapted it. It had never been staged before, to my knowledge. It was written in 1920.
Wow.
And I had been going to Europe for 3 years with La Mama, touring, and I thought, I want to do an American writer for American audiences. And it was very exciting. 12 typewritten pages and a bunch of actors, dancers, and we all passed around this script and said, you read until you're tired, and you hand it to somebody else, until about a week later we decided, this is my line and that's your line, because it just felt right. It sat on us well. So I became Mildred the ingenue and had a relationship with all the other actors. And everybody didn't like it. Some people walked out and said, I don't know what they're talking about. But 7-year-old children loved it and explained it. Oh, it's about some women who want to get married. It's about someone who dies in the war. And it's about people trying to be happy. You know, I mean, it's just, That's simple. So I challenge everybody to come see In Circles
Wow.
at the Odyssey. We open next Friday.
Yes. Yes. Now, we have a video of that play, except you see is just music. And you go, Tony. Marvelous, marvelous. And I should mention that's the original play. And this lady right here, you were in that play, weren't you?
I was in the original, yes.
Wow. Marvelous. Did everybody try that? How'd you like that? We'll do that again some other time. That was wow. Use your imagination, because you can be sitting in a theater, just close your eyes and just kind of figure out what you saw. That was marvelous. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now, please tell our viewers, who was Al Carmines?
He was the associate minister at Judson, and he was close friends with Larry Kornfeld, who was also worked on programming there. And they were a great collaboration and put together so many wonderful things in the different performance spaces at Judson. And it's right on the edge of Washington Square, the church.
Okay.
And it's just a wonderful place for creativity and humanity and liberalism and experimentation.
Wow. Now, there are good things, I mean good big things happening over at the Odyssey Theater. Please tell us about it.
Well, we just had the 50th anniversary
Yes.
celebration last night. That's why I'm a little bleary-eyed.
You're blurry-eyed? Look normal to me.
But it was wonderful. They celebrated Ron Saucy for 50 years of theater in 3 different locations, and gave awards to Sylvie Drake, the wonderful critic that used to be with the LA Times, and Alan Miller, who's a great, great character actor,
Right.
and Eva Marie Saint's husband, Jeffrey, who was a director at the Odyssey, and a wonderful, and people talked about their experiences with these people, and it was very inspirational. And after 50 years, we're still here.
All right. How's it feel to be a part of this revival?
I love it. I'm so happy. And I get to work with David Schweitzer, who's our director, and I worked with him like in the late 80s on a play called Kingfish that we did at Los Angeles Actors Theater, and Tony Abatamarca was in it, and Buck Henry, the great Buck Henry, and we took it to New York. But they didn't like it in New York because they don't much like LA theater in New York because they're snobs.
You heard it first. Tony, can you put that slide up on what the Odyssey Theater looks like? There it is right there, the Odyssey Theater.
It's blue.
It's blue.
It sure is blue.
It's always been, I don't know how long it's been blue, but it looks great.
And there's parking in front. And
Yes.
the box office is eager to help you if you want to know anything about schedules, or you can go online, Odyssey Theater Ensemble.
Yes.
And there's shows on mostly Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but there's occasional Wednesday and Thursday shows for people who can't make those dates. So call and get the schedule or go online. We'd love to see you try Gertrude Stein and Al Carmines.
Wow. Wow. Now, give me dates, give me times, give me information that I can use.
We're opening this Friday,
It's
September
coming
14th.
Friday. Okay.
And opening through the weekend, and then playing through probably mid-November.
Okay.
So it's a nice long run.
Okay. Wow. You know, listening to you and going through your resume and seeing what you've done over these years, would I be wrong not to call you Madame? I mean, you have done it. Over 200 performances you've done. That's a lot of stage work. And you love it. You do it over and over and over again.
Well, I came from being an off-Broadway celeb. I got one article said an oob celeb, which I found adorable. And then I came to L.A. with Two Gentlemen of Verona, the national company, and stayed. And it's just been delightful. I have gotten to do theater and TV and films and modeling and all kinds of stuff.
Wow.
Public service announcements, just wonderful.
Wow.
I did a movie called Heartbreak Hotel where I was dolled up to look like Elvis's mom so they could kidnap him. And David Keith was in it. And it was, I mean, it's just been a wonderful career.
Wow.
And it's always surprising. You know, you never know what's around the corner.
No, you never do. I was looking at some of the people that you know. We had Ellen Stern Epcar and her husband, Richard Epcar. They were here last week. And I see Joanne Webb, Rafi Moreau, E.P. McKnight. She'll be here in about 2 weeks. John H. Freeland, he's been here, and others.
I directed John Freeland in Of Mice and Men.
Yes.
So directing's been part of my career, too. We had a wonderful production, and it won all kinds of whatever the awards are in L.A.
My goodness. Jackie, we got to go, but please come back again. We haven't even begun to talk to you. God bless you, and happy birthday to you. May I have your right hand, please? Okay, this is my trademark for good luck. I always hand that out to people.
How beautiful.
Hold on to it. You'll never be broke.
My dad used to give us silver dollars.
Wow. Eisenhower, he's been around a while. And he, of course, madam, some roses. Enjoy your birthday and
I'm
have a good time.
honored. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's been so wonderful.
And I'm going to thank Lucy Pollock once again. She struck again. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much. My goodness. We're going to take a short break. I'm Ron Brewington, and this is The Actor's Choice. The studio of Harvey Brandman Photography is an artist proud to offer you a $100 discount off any photo package valued at $300 or more. Now, Harvey's been in the business for nearly a quarter of a century, and he certainly knows how to take care of his customers. So please give him a call today at 818-954-9294. That's 818-954-9294. You'll be glad you did. And by the way, please tell Harvey that you heard about his offer right here on The Actor's Choice. Haiku Style, Passion, Heart. It's the latest release from author and attorney Ron Irwin. The book was inspired by the author's first exposure to haiku well over a half-century ago. Now, this experience produced within him a deep passion to experience Asia, which he later did as a U.S. Marine. The book is available in paperback at lulu.com. That's lulu.com. Now, Irwin says he'll give 20% of net book sales split evenly between the veterans of foreign wars and Vietnam veterans of America. Book to the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule. It's a new book by author Larry Buford. It's a historical and faith-based account of how what we do and follow today will affect us tomorrow. The author also calls it an adventure for those who want to travel back through time. The book is now available in paperback for only $17.95 from Amazon. That's Amazon, so please get your copy today. And now, a word from State Farm agent Carla Green. Roll it, Tony.
Let me ask you something. What do you see when you look at your home and your car? Do you see a bundle? A combo deal? That's how other insurance companies see them. But a State Farm agent sees so much more. Because the State Farm agent sees your home and your car as more than just four walls and four wheels. They see the things you've worked really hard for. So why not give them the protection they deserve? Let me help you with that. Give me a call. State Farm agent Carla Green, 213-239-9675. I look forward to speaking with you.
Thanks, Carla. And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. For more information, 213, that's 213-239-9675. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, on Friday, September the 20th, a new, powerful, socially conscious film, In Prison, opens at the Lamel Music Hall. Now, that was the last film to wrap before the devastating hurricane in Puerto Rico. In Prison stars Lawrence Fishburne and Juan Pablo Raba.
Dylan Burke?
What's your problem, man?
He's the warden's nephew. Warden Calvin.
What do you want for that testimony?
It has come to my attention that some of you are confused about who runs this prison.
My name is almost at the top of the list, so I'm not long for this world.
We need to be mindful of the will of the people. They still believe in the death penalty.
If you cross me on this, I will take your job, your pension, and your reputation.
What else do you want from me?
Pensé que había pagado por todos mis errores, pero parece que no fue suficiente.
Every single one of you in this God-forsaken prison because of the crimes that you committed.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Actors' Choice in connection with the Lemuels Theater and Cinema Libre Studio would like to offer our audience $3 off the price of ticket for Imprisoned. For more information, see the Actors' Choice website located at theactorschoicela.org. That's theactorschoicela.org. And please enjoy the movie. And finally, if you have a product or service or an upcoming event that you'd like to see advertised on this program, please call 323-533-1036. That's 323-533-1036. Our prices are very affordable. Thank you. This is The Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. Roll it.
My friend, come over here and meet the old boys from dental school.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Oh, buddy, these burgers are so good. Great, juicy.
Perfect temp.
No, don't mind Ted. You know how every ad says 4 out of 5 dentists recommend a product? He's that 5th guy. He can just never get on board.
What can I say? I'm hard to please. I'm sorry, I just can't recommend it.
Oh, come on, Ted. Oh, and don't worry. That whitening agent that I use only lasts 4 to 6 weeks.
Which is why I cannot recommend it.
We get it, Ted. Okay? We get it.
I steal forks from the cafeteria. And Stu Weston used a foot wedge on 14 to win the spring scramble.
Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest certainly needs no introduction. He's got 75 IMDb actor credits and has been in a variety of TV and film projects. He was born in Morristown, New Jersey. Later, he moved to Miami, Florida. He was born in Mount Holly Township. He'll correct me on this one, New Jersey, and was raised in Morristown, New Jersey. Later, he moved to Miami, Florida, and then he came to L.A., and the rest is history. Please welcome veteran actor, writer, producer, Raymond Fortune. Ray, good to see you again.
Absolutely.
Can you do me a favor? Tell us about what you just passed some word to me, please.
Oh,
please.
Yes.
Please.
It was so wild because I saw a fantastic interview that you did with the late actor John Wesley, who just passed recently. And
was it last night?
Yeah, I believe it was yesterday or the day before. And just kind of in his honor, because he's a guy that a lot of us really looked up to. He was a journeyman actor like myself and was an example, I think, for a lot of actors who have worked to carve a presence in this business.
Tony, can you find a picture of John Wesley for us, please? Yes, sir. He, in fact, I made a call yesterday. I was trying to get some people to come on the show, and I talked to his wife, and she said he's really not doing well. This was yesterday. So when I heard this, there he is. God bless him. God bless him. There's his picture. God bless him. Go ahead, John. He was a good man. He and Robert Guillaume were like this. A damn good actor, a fine man. Him and I spent a lot of time together. He was a good guy. And the good guys always have to go. Thank you, Tony. Thank you very much. Yeah. John Wesley. You have another one, just another note you want to say on this?
Oh, yes. Just
Yes.
in regard to Ozzie Davis,
Yes.
who was in one of the first films that I had
Yes,
done,
yes.
which was called Hot Stuff.
Mhm.
And he was just one of my favorite people. I've kind of idolized him over the years.
Yes.
And it was really wild because when I was in school, in college,
Yes.
I also write.
Mhm.
And one of my short stories they featured on a PBS show they had that featured new writers. It was
Gotcha.
Ozzie Davis and Ruby Dee. So years later, I got the opportunity to work with him in Hot Stuff.
Wow.
And it was just fantastic.
Well, right now we'd like to
Yeah.
see both Ruby Dee and Ossie Davis together get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Long overdue. We're working with that right now. And like last week we had Jackie Wilson finally got his star.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it takes a while. It took 10 years for Jackie Wilson. It took us, sometimes these things take a long time because you got a lot of people in this town who are famous, but they don't have a star.
Yeah.
So they only give a certain amount each year. So sometimes it takes a few years for somebody to get one, but we'll do something with that.
And you were involved with getting a star for Richard Pryor, weren't you?
Well, yeah, and also
Yeah.
Marvin Gaye and a few
Oh,
other people.
Marvin,
Yeah, just something to do. I like to have fun
Yeah.
when it's just fun to see these people when they get that star. As you know, only one star is not on the ground.
Yeah. Amen.
Muhammad Ali said, I refuse to have some people walk on me, put mine on the wall, and when you go to the Dolby Theater, that's where it sits, on the wall.
Yeah.
He lets you know that we're messing with me. But again, I just want to thank you for being here at short notice again. Like I said, one of the guests was supposed to be, as you know, in this business, working is working. When they call you, you got to be there. No
got
questions asked. Thank you for being here today, Raymond. Definitely. Where do I begin? You started acting at the age of 7?
Absolutely. Wow. Yes. Yeah, in church. As
In
a matter of
church.
fact.
Go ahead.
And it was so wild. I don't even know that there was a question of having the courage to do it.
Yes.
It was kind of like, well, you do this, and I did it. And when I was on the stage, which was really at the front of the pulpit, I felt like I was home.
Right.
And I always loved to tell stories, even when I was very little.
Yes.
But acting for me has been one of those things that I've lived with all my life.
Got you.
All of my life.
You're a handsome fella. You have a presence about yourself.
Well.
And a great voice. I mean, that voice.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. That's training.
Yes.
Yes. It's so important to, we are not responsible for what God gives us initially.
Amen.
What our parents give us. But
Right.
it's our duty to train, get stronger, work on the voice, work on the body. Try not to get too out of shape or brutalize ourselves too much over the years.
Yes, as we get successful.
Yes.
Yes.
That's important.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Remember when you first came here to L.A., Hollywood, and you saw the Hollywood sign? How'd you feel?
Well, I felt great about it. But that's not really my first Hollywood story.
Please give it to me.
My first Hollywood story is like out of a book. It's out of a dream. And literally, I had come out here. Actually, I had come out to read for, at that time, there was a little show that was being developed called In the Heat of the Night.
Oh, yes.
And I came out to audition for that, and I was getting a call back on that, so I came back out here, for that whole situation. And a friend of mine met me at the airport, a marvelous, marvelous actor. You guys can look him up. His name is George Gill.
Oh, yeah.
Met me at the airport and said, I'm glad you have a jacket on. And so he took me to a birthday party for an actress by the name of Devin DeVasquez, who was a former girlfriend of Prince's.
Okay.
And we went to a place that was one of the top nightclubs at the time. This is like in '85.
Okay.
And it was called Scruples.
Okay.
And it was located at the bottom of the Beverly Center.
Okay.
And so literally the first night I'd gotten off of the plane, I had my jacket. We go into this club. Devin was there. We walk in. Prince was there. Vanity was there.
She passed away. Didn't she just pass away yesterday?
No. Prince.
Vanity, I think.
Oh, no, Vanity has been gone for a little
one
while.
of those ladies with us.
But Sheila E. was there.
Yeah.
Lauren Green was there.
Yes.
And literally, that was my first night in L.A. But here's the thing. Prince basically kind of sat in the corner. He was kind of, pensive. And then, when doves cry, from the movie Purple Rain came on, Prince got up and danced.
All right.
With everybody else on the dance floor. So literally my first night in Los Angeles, I'm on the dance floor with Vanity, Sheila E., Prince, Devin, George. It was just, who couldn't be addicted to L.A. after a night like that?
Home to Stars.
There you go. It was really, really great.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. I didn't suffer until a little bit later.
Suffer? In what way, sir?
Well, the life of an actor is so uncertain, and I've been really blessed to work a lot over the years.
75.
But there have been times when I've not worked that much.
Yes.
What I don't have there, or what we haven't talked about, is the commercial work. Thank goodness.
Yes. Yes.
Nearly 100 spots, and that was back in the days when nationals paid really, really well. Although I think we've just had a new contract that's going to help that situation for a lot of people.
Right.
But the life of an actor is something that it's more of an avocation a lot of times than an occupation.
Okay.
It's like going into the priesthood in a way. It's like you choose to be an actor.
Yes. Yes. I like.
So that's been my life.
Yes. Now we're just going to run through a few of the films that you've been in. You got 75 credits. The first one in 1979 was Hot Stuff.
Oh, absolutely. And that one was directed by a marvelous, wonderful, funny, warm man named Dom DeLuise. And it's funny. One of the things that I learned, one of my mentors was a man by the name of John Pryor. And this brother was one of the finest drama teachers ever. And one of the things I learned from him was to be bold. And so when I went into the audition for Hot Stuff, I was originally auditioning for a different role. And the role was a guy who was supposed to be, yes, it's stereotypical, but it was a pimp. Okay? I happened to,
hard out there for the pimp.
at the time, have a sword cane, which is a whole nother discussion about my earlier life. Okay? But I had a sword cane, so I go into it, like pull it out.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, that's fantastic. And he wound up casting me as another character in the film who really just goes completely hyper. And I have a shotgun and I fire it. I blow a guitar out of Dom's hands with Jerry Reed, Suzanne Plachette. And that film is another one of the films that so many people remember.
Yes.
And it was a fun film based on a true story. It was an actual scam that the police put together. Actually, originally it was in Washington, D.C., but they placed the movie in Miami. Okay? And what it was they opened a phony pawn shop so that criminals would bring their stolen goods, and then they threw a big Christmas party and arrested everybody. And that was what the movie Hot Stuff was about.
All
It's
right.
fantastic film.
1986, you did Flight of the Navigator.
Yes, Flight of the Navigator. That's another one of those films that I've been blessed to be involved with that's a classic. I still get, it's so funny, I'll go into auditions now as an actor and I'll meet producers, casting directors, and it's like, oh, you were in Flight of the Navigator. It was a Disney film, and it's about a boy who was abducted by a flying saucer, and the voice was done by Pee Wee Herman. And a lot of people have grown up with that. And the director, Randall Kleiser, he had directed Grease, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids 2, I believe it was, and then he directed this film. And the film just hit a zeitgeist of the time, and it was just so well received that just recently I received a call that they were doing a documentary about life after Navigator. And that documentary, it's a feature-length doc, and I believe it's going to be out toward the end of this year or the beginning of next.
Great.
And it reunites the cast for the first time in many, many years. The young actor who was the star of the film, marvelous, named Joey Kraemer.
Okay.
He has come back into acting. The guy looks like a matinee idol now. But he also had served time in Canada because of being involved in a bank robbery.
Okay.
It's just an amazing story, and he's just learned so much, and he's such a wonderful guy. I wish him the absolute best.
Got you.
Yeah.
1991, Point Break.
Oh, yeah. That I love because I got an opportunity. It was the first time I had ever worked, believe it or not, with a woman director. Out of all of the films and commercials and such. And the woman director happened to be Catherine Bigelow, who is just fantastic, who, of course, won the Oscar for Hurt Locker, you know, and it was just marvelous. And also, she did an amazing film a few years ago that if you haven't seen it, you've got to see it. It's Detroit. Just a stunning, stunning picture. But I had the opportunity to work with that Keanu Reeves.
Patrick Swayze?
Yeah, yes, Patrick, although I didn't work directly with Patrick. I play a guy who's just out trying to mow his doggone lawn. And these Nazi bikers and Keanu, they're having a fight. The guy knocks me over and tries to shove Keanu's head into my lawnmower. But yeah, that was a fun.
Wow.
That was a fun.
And you had Grey's Anatomy in 2013?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I did a major marriage there. I was the minister who conducted the marriage for Bailey.
For Bailey.
And it was really wild because now that they have done the spinoff, which is Station 19, they actually brought me back that moment back for that show. So really, that was what I like to call a twofer. I did one show and I'm in two different shows.
All right.
That's always cool.
2018, Goliath.
Yeah. Oh, Goliath.
Yes.
Yeah. That was fantastic. I believe it's Ana de la Ruega was the actress that I worked with. That, of course, is Billy Bob Thornton's series, although I didn't work directly with him. But I play Mayor Peter Anderson, who's the mayor of Los Angeles in that.
Wow.
So I had to channel my best Tom Bradley for that. You know.
Good man.
That
a good
was
man,
a
Tom
marvelous,
Bradley. Very good man.
experience,
She'll miss
yeah.
him. Now, you know, as you were working as an actor, you were also picking up other knowledge. For example, you did 14 credits of producer.
Yes.
7 writer credits. Casting director 5 credits. Director 2 credits. And on and on and on. It seems that your dreams were coming real.
Well, yeah. You know, it's funny because we always talk about pursuing your dreams in the business, and I think that's important. But what's important is to not let your dreams just be dreams.
Right.
You've got to work on them, focus, and turn your dream into a plan.
Yes.
And then turn your plan into an action.
Got you.
You know, and I think that's very important. And for all of the people, especially the actors who are watching this, young or old, don't limit yourself to one area. And in truth, even though the films that I've done, they were on a slightly larger level, it's as a producer, it's important to understand that the technology now allows people to create art everywhere. There is no excuse for an artist to not practice their art now.
Thank you.
Give you an example. One of the films that I was involved with, I was an associate producer on a film called Last Breeze of Summer that was directed by a man named Arik Cosby and was produced by a man named David Massey. Okay, and that was nominated for an Oscar back in '92. And in doing that film, we shot that on 16 millimeter film. That, just the cost of the film, the development, that sort of thing, you know, we had a limit of the budget at the American Film Institute, which was where it was done, of a certain amount of money. But the truth is that that film shot now digitally would have cost us much less. You don't have to worry about, you know, you can run film and run film, you know, in all honesty. You can even work with actors much more. You know, one of the things about shooting film, which is why it's such a difficult business, when you're doing a television show, it's like I just shot a show last week. Had like 200 extras, I mean, picture cars. I mean, it was massive. You really can't take the risk that the person you hire for the one day is going to come in and blow the day for you. Right. That's what producers deal with.
Right.
And when you are shooting film, you've got to develop the film.
Okay.
You do take after take. Whereas with digital, a lot of times you can just run.
Okay. What's the situation right now for black actors?
Oh, well, I mean, black actors, I feel, look at television. It is not where any of us would ever like it to be. I don't think it's that way really for any actors, because there's so many people who are not working at any given time anyway. Okay, but in my opinion, I think there have been major inroads that have been made. Almost every project that you see now, you're starting to see more roles that matter to the script. That are portrayed by black actors. Latin actors, it's the same thing. Latino, Hispanic actors, you're starting to see it. Asian actors, and I believe that what it is I feel that the world is no longer isolated little chunks.
Thank you.
So if a producer is smart, they're going to produce a project that has a wide demographic of people. Because movies, I mean, right now, foreign returns on motion pictures often way outweigh the domestic returns.
Interesting.
That didn't used to be the case. It used to be, well, if we get the domestic, which is going to be the U.S. and Canada, that's going to be our nut. The problem that I think black actors have had is that very often the studios would say, oh, well, if it's a black project, it won't sell overseas.
Right.
Not true at all. We see it. Look at a movie like Black Panther.
Oh, yes.
Yes, it had brand recognition. But one of my idols is a man, I don't know whether you've interviewed him or not, but his name is Fred Williamson.
Oh, yeah, the Hammer.
Yes, the Hammer.
Yes.
And what Fred did, Fred has a company called Pole Boy Films. But what Fred did was Fred went over to Europe himself. And worked out his own deals. And he found out that a lot of the monies that he wasn't getting, that companies were paying for his films. And so he managed to produce independently a bunch of pictures that he starred in, acted in, sometimes I believe directed, I'm not sure. But the man is an idol to me.
Yes.
You cannot take no for an answer. No. As an artist, you can't take no. And the bottom line is nobody wishes to be an artist.
Right.
Either you do it or you don't.
Wow.
You talk about it.
Wow.
You know?
Rena,
So-
we got to get you back here. We're running out of time. We got to get. We haven't even started. Gee whiz. I would like to say one thing that you say: the artist must be nurtured.
Absolutely.
I mean, it must be.
That's what I believe in. I do coach actors and actresses periodically, and that's what's important. Here's the way I look at the industry, and I love the name of your show, The Actor's Choice, because when you think about it, even stars, everybody who works actually is hired based on their choices.
Right.
Now, there's just choice, but there's also an educated choice.
Yes.
That's what training gives to people.
Right.
You know? So I really believe that it is important to choose to be an actor, to pursue this work. You have a choice to go into the shallow end of the pool, or you can dive into the deep end of the pool. The actors we want to watch usually are the ones who dive into the deep end.
Yeah, right.
That's what it's about.
May I have your right hand, please?
Oh, definitely.
Definitely. Hold on to it, my friend. Hold on to it.
Yeah.
And good luck to you in what you're doing.
All right.
Thank you for coming. Like I said, we ran out of time. There's much more. We'll get you back here again because you just got started. Thank you, sir. Special thanks to our sponsors, Harvey Brandman, Photography is Art, Ron Irwin's Cuco, Style, Passion, Heart, Larry Buford's Back to the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule, and State Farm agent Carla Green. Special thanks to our guests today, veteran actors Jackie Lynn Colton and Raymond Forshin. Please come back again. Please come back again. And of course, special thanks to our ever-growing audience. We say be well. We'll see you the next time.